Hey everyone, welcome to Financial Revelations. I am David Szafranski, your host, coming to you from Avon, Ohio. I'm back in Avon. The number to reach us here at the office, 1-800-344-2534. You can email Corey at epsf.com. You can see us on Twitter. I wrote a book called The Sin of Retirement. You can go to sinofretirement.com and buy the book. It's also available on Amazon, written form, ebook form, and audio. So it's not my voice reading it, so don't worry. It's somebody else with a very professional voice. There was one mistake he made that we can't get fixed. And it was where, in the book I write, a half-truth is a whole lie. And he got that phrase wrong. So just remember, a half-truth is a whole lie. We're going to the Amazon in March. That trip is booked. You can't go on that trip. nativosusa.org is the website for that. You can make a donation if you want. We're going to update that website and update everything. So it's going to look really nice. Melissa's working on it right now. And there are future trips. If you want to go, contact us about a future trip. If you want to take a group of church, a group of people from church, we do not take unaccompanied minors. So if your minor wants to go, if they're looking for a trip to Brazil, one of his parents or her parents has to go with us. It's just the way it is. We took unaccompanied minors one year, and it's not that it was a nightmare. Nothing happened, but there's some unique reasons surrounding Brazil travel that make it hard to travel with an unaccompanied minor. So we're just not going to do that anymore. And we have a trip going in May from a different church. You could jump on that trip probably if you wanted to. And we're thinking about a June trip, which is a good trip to go on. The weather is, well, it's the equator. It's hot and sunny. And when we go in March, it'll be just the end of the rainy season. And that's also a kind of a good time to go, too. It's a little cooler then, get a little bit more cloud cover. And if you're lucky, you'll see a true Amazon rainforest rainstorm. And I got to tell you, you may have seen rain before. I'm sure you have. Especially if you live in Cleveland or Ohio, because you probably have seen all four seasons in one day. But if you've never seen a true Amazon rainstorm, it is like nothing you will ever see outside of there. It could rain 10 inches in an hour. It's really something. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it until I went there, and we've seen a couple of those. So if you want to go, that's great. Hey, by the way, for you people who are getting a shirt, okay, we did a little contest last week. All you had to do was email Corey and say, I want the shirt. And we did 4 of those, Corey. Okay, so all those people, we got those winners. You probably might get a different shirt, but you're going to get a shirt. In fact, we're going to do it again. And we're going to take 4 people. And we're going to say, all you got to do is email Corey at epsf.com, and say, Corey, I want that shirt. I want that shirt. And we're going to send you a shirt. It'll be from the book launch type of shirt. It might say, I love stepped up basis. I suck at investing. There's a couple other ones that we have back there. They all come in large. That's what you're going to get. So it's a free shirt. I don't like complainers. So if you complain, I'm going to make you mail the shirt back. Okay? That's what I'll do. I'll make you do that. Yeah, I can't make you do that, but in any case, if you want a shirt, email Corey. I want the shirt. If you want a book, how about we do the book too, Corey? Can we do that? We'll say, if you want a shirt or you want a book, you can't have both. You can have one or the other. We'll send out 4 books too. If you email Corey, I want the book. I'll send you a book. I'll even write something in it. Like, here you go, freeloader. No, be nice. Come on. You're taking your time and you're listening or watching this. I want the book. I'll write something in it for you. I sign it. I've gotten a really good response from the book, and it makes me it really makes me very happy to know that people like the book. It really is from my heart. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. The sin of retirement and how we retire, how we look at retirement, how we perceive retirement, the planning that we do, the obsession that people have on it. All these things I've seen over time, and I've seen a lot of this stuff. I've been around for a long time. This is my 33rd year in business. I'll probably be around for another 33 years doing this podcast. I don't know. I'm going to do a podcast from the Amazon. We're going to interview a Wall Street Journal reporter. I want to take people to the Amazon. I want you to go. I want to do all these things. I want to be able to go to the Amazon and for as long as I possibly can physically. So it's one of the reasons why I try and take good care of myself, watch my diet somewhat, not always, but I do, work out. I want to be able to go. I want to be able to do things like that. I want to be able to answer the call. And for me, that's the kind of retirement planning that I want to do for people so that you can answer the call. You've been working your whole life. You had kids probably, and that was your priority. And that's what your priority is supposed to be when you have kids and a family. But those kids are gone. Maybe you got some grandkids that you spend some time with, but they got lives to lead too. And so, like, hey, what's coming next? What's my purpose? What's my drive? Why do I get up and take a breath in the morning? What makes me get out of bed? So, short-term mission trips, it doesn't have to be with us. Okay, we're not the only mission trip in town. There's a lot of things that you could do. You don't even have to leave the county to do a mission trip. You could do one in downtown Lorain or downtown Cleveland or Leary or wherever you live. LA, we have people that listen to the podcast from all over the place, foreign countries. So you don't need to go to another country. That's just what we do, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I every once in a while have somebody say, "Well, why don't you give your money to an American?" And my response is, "Well, we do that too. We do a lot of things. I take giving very seriously. Not to toot my own horn, but I have been blessed way more than I ever thought I would be. When I first started out in business, I was the worst hire Ray Sussel could have made. Ray was my first boss. I didn't have money. I didn't come from money. And I didn't know anybody with money. I have no idea why he hired me. But he saw something. I just had dinner with Ray. And I thanked him. I mentioned Ray in the book that he's the reason I'm still in business because he wouldn't give up on me. And he built into me. He took time. He did all those things. Well, you could do that too in retirement. God has given you and built into you time, talent, wisdom, expertise. You say, well, what do I know? I was a homemaker. Oh my gosh, I think that's the hardest job in the world is to run a household with kids and a husband that works, or maybe you were a stay-at-home dad. Well, that takes a lot of work, organizational skills. You're like the CFO and the CEO of this little mini corporation. You have a skill set. I'm telling you, I could show you what your skills are, and you could take that and build that into somebody, maybe in your own church. I see a lot of young couples struggle now running a household, making bills, making their dollars stretch, managing their budget. Well, if you ran a household, you've done all those things. You could teach people to do that. We have women at our church. Now, I'm not a great cook. My wife is the cook in my house. I'm good at other things, and we have a division of labor. It's fairly traditional, but she's really good at that. She's really good at managing the house and the budget. She works. She's a retired school teacher. I'm never going to retire, by the way. I'm going to work as long as I can because I like to do it. I really enjoy this, and it affords me opportunities that most people never get to see. And I like those things. I like doing this. I work from the Amazon. We take a Starlink. I'm getting a new Starlink to take to the Amazon this time, the performance model. It's going to be great. So I want you to experience these things too, whether it's in the Amazon or some other way. But I want you to experience the fulfillment of retirement that God called us to have. It isn't just to walk the beach. It isn't just to golf or play pinochle. There's nothing wrong with those things. But if it's all you do, I think you're missing an opportunity to return the talent that God gave you. And you say, well, I'm the one who went to school. I did that. I learned. I was the apprentice. Yeah, that's true. All those things are true. Okay, but that came from someplace. I'm not saying you didn't work hard. We've all worked hard. I feel like I have worked so hard to get here. I'm an overnight success that took 25 years. So send in an email. I want that shirt or I want that book to Corey, and doggone it, you're going to get that shirt or that book. So I want you to read it. All right. Hey, one of the things that we're talking about a lot right now is rising prices. And I want to get a little feedback from you guys because you're probably smarter about this than I am. Now, I read a lot about prices and inflation and things like that. And certainly there are some prices that have risen fairly dramatically this year. Some of them are tariff oriented, like coffee prices. You know what we don't grow here in America? We don't grow a lot of coffee. We grow it in Hawaii, and it's the only place, Kona, the island of Kona, or I'm sorry, the big island of Hawaii in the city of Kona is the only place that you can grow Kona coffee and call it Kona coffee. It's the only place. And so they do grow coffee there, but the island, relatively small for coffee production, so they don't produce a huge amount, but they do produce some. And most of our coffee comes from places like Brazil. And we have some pretty big tariffs on Brazil right now. Coffee prices in 2025 up 21%. That's hefty. That's a hefty price rise. Eggs, after dropping, remember when what would eggs peak out at, Corey? Like $8 a dozen? So you go to Costco, you get 5 dozen eggs at a time. I go to Costco a lot. I go to a couple other stores. And one of the things that I do when I'm there, I'm not buying everything. I do buy eggs because I eat eggs every day. But I do what's called channel checking. I just look at where prices are at. What are things costing? And certainly at Costco, there is a volume discount there for things like eggs. You could get 5 dozen eggs and it works out to be like $3 a dozen. That's still kind of expensive for a dozen eggs, but eggs are up right now, and the reason isn't tariff oriented, it is bird flu oriented. And a lot of the chicken flocks have been culled because of bird flu, avian flu. Beef and veal way up. Why is beef and veal way up? Well, there's two reasons beef and veal. One of them is Donald Trump's fault. I mean, I gotta put the blame where the blame lies, and that is we buy a lot of beef from overseas. Brazil, big beef producer. You go to Brazil as an American, beef is super cheap there. I mean, it's really cheap. You can eat like a king on the American dollar there. But also, our beef herd this year is at a 75-year low. So if you remember supply and demand, if supply is low, prices are going up. And that's exactly what's happening. So beef, a chuck roast. I don't even know what a chuck roast is, but it sounds delicious. It sounds like something you put in the crock pot at 8:30 and then you get home at 5. It'll smell great in the house, but in all fairness, if I put the cat that we don't have a cat, but if we had a cat and I put that in the crock pot, it would also smell great at 5:30. So I have dogs. You can't fit a dog in a crock pot, so don't worry. TJ and Max don't have to worry about being dinner. Iceberg lettuce up 21%. That's got to be a crop thing because I don't think we import a lot of iceberg lettuce. Bacon prices have risen around 7% this year. Sugar and sweets, I don't eat candy anymore. Well, okay, I don't eat a lot of candy anymore. I've been really disciplined about that, about sugars and breads. I love bread. I'm Polish. And I think, well, hey, what could be wrong with bread? The world lived on bread for like 5 centuries, and now bread is bad for you. Actually, bread is not bad for you. It's the ingredients that we're putting into bread that are bad for you. Like Walmart, which I love Walmart too, sells this bread. Every morning they make it. Sometimes they won't give it to you if it's too hot. I'm like, that's exactly why I'm here. Well, you might get burned. But that bread is so good. It's a sesame seed bread, pre-sliced. soft as all get out. I mean, I want to like rub my face on it. It's so, you know what the bread I'm talking about? You do. I know you do. It's loaded with sugar. Well, back in the day, they didn't do that. They used grain and yeast. That was the bread. And I do have a friend that has a bakery, and they use ancient grains to bake their bread. So, non-alcoholic beverages like orange juice up 12%, bananas up 9%. We don't grow a lot of bananas here, but one of the problems with bananas is every banana, like the banana that we buy and eat here, has the exact same genetic code. There's no difference. So the Chiquita banana, it's got one genetic code, and there is a disease killing bananas. So the crop is shrinking. We're trying to come up with a different banana genetic code, but it's not working really well. So, tariffs have had an impact in some degree. And I think for the Republicans, if they want to win the midterm elections, they're going to have to really pay attention to this. You're going to have to really work to get inflation down. And this is why you got to be so vigilant against inflation in the first place, because when it rises, it's really easy to go from the high number to like a lower number. But to get back to the number that you want is really difficult because there's wage inflation, and that doesn't go away. Wages went up. There were contracts that were built in, like the Boeing contract, the UPS contract, the GM contract, all gave super high significant pay raises in the heat of inflation because of inflation. Well, then inflation went down and the pay raises are still there. And I want people to make more money, but I want to be because we're producing more, not just because they want more money. So if you produce more, you get a wage increase. And that's how you get rid of inflation. You increase production, you get productivity up, and then wages, and you outpace wage inflation, general inflation goes down. That's what we need to do. I think they're going to do that, but it's going to take time. And I think you've got to be paying attention to it and talking about it a lot as politicians. You've got to be addressing costs. And everyday Americans, they have to feel like their costs are going down and their wages are going up. And if you can do those things, you'll be king forever. I know we have this big, stupid No Kings March, and they call Donald Trump a king. Well, if that was true, he wouldn't let you have a No Kings March. So, but if you could do those things, if you could lower costs, get housing costs down, how do you do that? You build more houses. It's just that simple. So you make permitting easier. You don't allow people to do dumb things, but you make it easier. You increase the supply, you lower the cost. You do those things, you bring costs down, you raise people's wages, you're going to never not be elected. And then, the things that we voted for, if you're a Trump fan, which I am, and you know that, the things that we voted for, you keep doing those things. You don't lighten up on those things. We've had 5 months in a row of no illegal border crossings over the southern border. None. We didn't need a border wall. We just needed a different president. That's what we needed. And that's what we got. And, those things, that opens up the labor force for people that should be here. And I love what they're doing, too, in the sense that they tell people, look, we'll give you a plane ticket. We'll send you back. You're going to send yourself back. You're going to self-deport. And then you can reapply to come here legally, and they'll probably let you in. But if you don't do that and you get caught, you're not coming back. That's a fair arrangement. I like that. And a lot of people are doing that. We need to know who's here. It's not racist to know who's in our country. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's reasonable. It's actually what the government's supposed to do. And we know why that the Democrats were letting in so many people, because they expected it to be votes. And it didn't work out that way. It's not going to work out that way. I love the direction of the country. We're going to get costs down. I'm praying that they really focus on lowering costs of everyday items. And they have a lot of impact on this. They could have a lot of impact on it. I hope they use their firepower wisely here, and that they focus on the domestic economy. We've solved a lot of wars. It's true. This has been an administration of peace. It's time to come home and focus here and really work for the everyday person to get their costs down. I am David Szafranski, a real American, a true red-blooded, gun-owning patriot, and the voice you could trust.